Thank you. Good morning to distinguished guests. Fukushima was a tragic event in Japan, but it had also, and you will excuse the term, collateral benefits for the scientific community and for all us here, because it brought us much closer together, and it gave us the opportunity to work more closely with CTBTO and with also many other organizations. It had the same effect, I must say, also in-house in the IAEA. We improved the one-house approach. But then let's get to my talk, which is on resources for environmental radioactivity measurements and modeling. The first thing I want to say is that the agency reacted very, very fast, and based on our expertise, and particularly on the International Seismic Safety Center. The on-call specialist alerted just less than 1 hour after the earthquake, not the tsunami. He alerted our emergency response specialists and mentioned that there was a potential damage to 4 nuclear power plants in Japan and also a potential for tsunami. At that time, we had not yet the information that the tsunami was arriving, basically. So we immediately contacted the Japanese authorities, and we started the process under the conventions of notification and assistance. I mean, asking for information, providing, getting assistance proposals from member states, and proposing this assistance to Japan. And you see, just at 8 UTC, the first EMERCON message was delivered by Japan and provided to all member states. And then very early, 9:40 UTC, we contacted World Meteorological Organization, with whom we have an agreement, and I'll come back to that a bit later, to provide their assistance in meteorological products. After that, we collated information from Japan, and the Japanese authority, the official points of contacts, provided us with a number of measurements, those rates which were made on-site and off-site also, and we received during the whole crisis period measurements coming from 47 prefectures in Japan. This concerned also seawater, environmental, and food sample. These data were reviewed and reported to our member states, and we provided on a daily basis status summaries. We also provided, as you know, from the 14th, daily briefings to member states and also to the press. We also sent early field teams in Japan. 4 monitoring teams were sent there to strengthen the independent measurements of radioactivity in Japan, and to show that what Japanese authorities were measuring was indeed totally consistent with what we were measuring in the same locations. Locations were again in the Fukushima region, in the vicinity of Tokyo also, and we performed those rates and also contamination rates. We also, and that's the collateral benefit, we received measurements by member states and also by international organizations, including by CTBTO. And I must say that in the very early hours, I just attended a meeting between Tibor Toth and Yukiya Amano to put together the procedures, how we would work together and have access to data from CTBTO. And this data was indeed made available to IAEA, and it is now available on a permanent basis to the agency. All these data that we received from member states and also from CTBTO, all this now is being put into a monitoring database, which is sort of first exercise, and which will be, it's a template for what we will do in case, God forbid, of another significant accident with radioactive releases. This monitoring database includes data from Japan, from member states, from our field teams, and when we have totally defined with CTBTO in which way their data can be included and made available to member states and to the public, then this will be done, but this needs still some arrangements, including the fact that again, one good outcome is that CTBTO has started the process to join the Interagency Committee on Radiological and Nuclear Emergency. This process is close to completion, and this will help bring, again, closer together all international organizations which have competencies in the field of nuclear and radiological emergency. As I said, in the early hours, we contacted World Meteorological Organization, with whom we have an arrangement signed in 2002. And this arrangement allows us to have access to the standard products of WMO and also to special products. And this was done through regional centers. There are 6 regional centers in WMO, and we worked very closely with them. We had first predictions of plume, which were based on, what we say, arbitrary units. You release 1 becquerel and see where it goes. But then, from the data we receive, monitoring data we receive from all over the world, we could assess what was the release in different times and use that as an input for precise plume dispersion, and this is what you have on the right of the screen. Now we are getting prepared for the future, and we are putting together an international radiation monitoring information system using a European model, which will then allow us to show, to make available all this data in a more user-friendly way. We are not developing, indeed, monitoring stations. This is certainly not our role. Our role is to bring together all this data and share it with our member states. And I think that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.